This dragon moves when the teapot pours, and once you notice that, the whole Yuhualong teapot starts to open up. Its name refers to the legend of a carp transforming into a dragon. In Chinese culture, that story symbolizes breakthrough and success. It also points to a future that feels almost within reach. And what makes this teapot so compelling is that the story is not simply added onto the surface. It is built into the form itself. On one side, a carp rises out of the waves. Its eye, scales, fins, and open mouth are all clearly defined. In front of it, 3 pearls drift in the waves. It feels as if the energy of transformation is already beginning to gather. On the other side, that transformation is complete. A dragon emerges from the waves with claws extended and its head thrust forward. Its eyes, scales, teeth, whiskers, snout, and curling beard details are all clearly shaped in shallow relief. In front of its mouth sits a pearl. That gives the whole scene even more focus and tension. That contrast is what gives the teapot its real life. One side is aspiration, the other is becoming. And the movement does not stop at the body. The lid continues the same wave rhythm upward, so the design flows naturally across the lid line instead of breaking apart. You can see that the wave patterns on the lid and the wave patterns on the body belong to the same visual logic. That continuity matters. This lid does not feel like a separate piece placed on top. It feels integrated, like the upper continuation of the same story. And then, at the crest of those waves, a fully sculpted dragon head rises from the lid. This is one of the most remarkable details on the piece. The dragon head is actually movable. When the teapot is tilted to pour, gravity draws it forward. The dragon seems to emerge even more vividly from the waves. The mouth opens outward. The tongue projects forward. The whole detail feels lively, theatrical, and full of motion. But it is still controlled. It still belongs to the teapot. Above it, the knob takes the form of an auspicious cloud. That is a beautiful choice. In Chinese visual culture, cloud patterns often suggest blessing, good fortune, and a hopeful future. So even the knob continues the symbolic language of the piece. Then, look at the handle. It is shaped as a dragon's tail, with scales running clearly along its curve. That gives the back of the teapot the same vitality as the front. Even when your eye moves away from the main relief carving, the theme never disappears. The spout and the handle are also tied back into the same wave language. Around their bases, the wave lines continue outward. That helps both parts feel fully integrated into the design. Even the spout itself carries surface texture, so it does not read as a plain functional attachment. It remains part of the same sculptural world. And underneath, the design is just as thoughtful. Turn the teapot over, and the wave pattern gathers into a spiral-like point at the bottom. That is a remarkably careful finishing touch. It shows that the visual logic continues through the entire form, even in places many people would never think to look. The lid construction is worth attention too. It has a double-layered structure with a hollow interior. That makes it more complex than it first appears. And despite all of that sculptural movement, the lid and the mouth fit together cleanly and precisely. That is not a small thing. On a teapot like this, a precise lid fit matters. There is relief carving, flowing asymmetry, and constant transitions between sculpted and smooth surfaces. To keep the lid fit clean through all of that reflects real control in the making. Inside, the workmanship remains refined. At the inner wall where the spout connects to the body, you can see a perforated filter rather than a single open hole. That detail immediately makes the interior feel more deliberate and carefully considered. And on the inner wall, you can also find the seal of the maker, Kuai Liangrong. That feels fitting, because a teapot like this asks for more than decorative skill. It asks for balance. The symbolism has to be vivid, but not chaotic. The sculptural elements have to be expressive, but still functional. And all of that has to live within a teapot that feels coherent, convincing, and complete. That is what makes this Yuhualong teapot so satisfying. It carries a legendary image, but it never becomes merely illustrative. It remains a fully resolved teapot. The carp, the dragon, The waves, the cloud, and the pearls all work together to express one idea: transformation. Not as a slogan, not as decoration alone, but as something shaped directly into the body of the piece. And that is why this teapot stays with you. It is lively, symbolic, and full of movement. But underneath all of that, it is still disciplined. The longer you look, the more clearly you can feel both sides of it at once: imagination and control.